This is Yerushalmi Berachos Daf Mem Hey. The article is for other edition, corresponding to Daf Lamed or the base, towards the bottom in the Vilna edition. And we're starting from Amrei B'Yochanan, which is basically the second line. We did the first line yesterday. Amrei B'Yochanan. Excuse me. Why is Baba called Tzula? Shisham Tzolu Meisei Dora Mabu. So they're dove down. In other words, since it's low to depression, so they're gathered together. They're collected together all the bodies which is destroyed during the Mabu. Gam beBavel Limpo. This is about them Bavel as well, of course. Gam beBavel Limpo Chalei Yisrael. Also in Bavel, therefore, fell the casualties of Israel. Gam beBavel naflu chalei kol haaretz. So this was Gam beBavel. So also in Bavel, because in Bavel also fell all the casualties of all the world at the time of the Mabu. Ksiv he by Mitzuba b'Kol Be'eretz Shinor. They found after the Mabu to the time of Dor Flaga, they found a valley in the land of Shinor. V'yeshvu sham. And they dwelt there. Why is Baba called Shinor? Today were shaken all the dead of the Dor Mabul. Shinor shehem mesim bitashnuk. They die in their anguish. Below ner uvelo merchatz. They don't have candles and they don't have bathhouses. In Bavel, evidently, these commodities were rare, and therefore they suffered a great deal as a result. The Shire Teretz Yisrael elaborates on this. He says that the below ner is because in Shabbos, Perek Beis Halacha Beis, and in the Bavli, it's also brought down by Memalikin, that they only have sesame oil in Bavel, so therefore they don't have proper olive oil candles like they would have in Eretz Yisrael or elsewhere in the world. So below Merchatz, he says, because in Avodah Zarah, that base on base, we know that we see the Romans built bathhouses in the cities where they took hold, as opposed to the Persians. They didn't actually build bathhouses. And then he calls about the derivation of the word tashnuk, well, how it means to travail, but it's an interesting analysis of what does mean below ner below merchatz. The mashbiach, it's interesting, I would say, radical derivation from this Gemara. He says that let's read it inside here. It's here. Mikamakor, Laminag Lokas Neros, Eitzlatias Neshama, Betara B'Mayim Lames. There's a source for the lighting a candle by the Tzias Neshama and being matara the body with water. And because in Bavel they didn't have ner, and they died without ner, they died without merchatz, so therefore we give the mace a ner and a merchatz. Okay, very interesting. Tovra acher. Shinor shem nu'ori min ha-mitzvahs. What mitzvahs are they without? Below Truma, below Maisa. The mitzvah Truma, mitzvah Maisa, which had an Eretz Yisrael. Davar acher, Shinor shesoreh mesim na'arim. Its officials die young. Evidently, it's a lot of anguish to live in Bavel. Davar acher shemidu sonei ve'ed. Oh no, shemidu sonei ve'er. Actually, it says here they set up an enemy and an heir. I guess a lunction of Aro or somebody who complains. Kodesh Baruch Hu Beis said Vuchanetzar HaRosha. Nebuchadnezzar was obviously somebody who was an Sone and an heir, Shin Or, to oppose the Kosh Baruch Hu. Okay, Rav Rabbi Huda. So the sheet of Rav is like Rabbi Huda, and the Charedim here explains Rabbi Huda kamo ikadami the plague aman the masay hay uvdel the amru mincha el ila the common. In other words, before we went to the story about mincha, and we went on the opinion that it's talking about the other days of the Yom Kippur. And here he says that no, it's talking about an Ila. The Adra, Rav Mispalel, Talmud Filas Mincha, Kohen Plaga Mincha. He daven Mincha before Plaga Mincha. Rav Rabbi Huda, he daven Mincha before Plag. In Tavnei Rabbanon, because he's going to say, "How's like Rabbanon? You get down to Shkia." Lace Rabbi Huda, Lace Rabbi Huda Moedei. 1 second, is that Rabbi Huda? Let's see the Charedim. Second. Yeah, so it's not 100% mukhar that what the Charedim is saying here, that it's like an ikudarme. It's going on what we learned before. Let's try learning without that and learn as follows. Rav Rabbi Yehuda. Rav held like Rabbi Yehuda that one should go like Rabbi Yehuda Chatzin Davin before Plag. Why do you hold that way? Because in Tavdiak Rabbanon, if you follow Rabbanon, the Dam Mincha to Shkia, Leish Rabbi Yehuda Moide. Rabbi Yehuda not consider hold that that's appropriate. It's Dam Mincha before Plag Mincha. In Tavdiak Rabbi Yehuda, but if you go like Rabbi Yehuda, Dam Mincha before Plag Mincha, so then you don't lose anything according to Rabbanon. Of Rabbanon Moidu. So why not be Yitzis Shteim? And that's what the Charedim says. The next Charedim, he says the nosin talmud vorv dava boila fuki navshemi plukta. Wanted to take himself out of machlekes. When we said imani osek Rabbeinu mispala koydem plaga mincha v'yokev down before plag yotzani dechavasi das rabbanim. Good according to rabbanim. V'yispach plag with it down at plag any yotzet das rabbi. I'm not going to be yotzet rabbi Yehuda. Al derech number bavli. It's like they said in the bavli b'mokom acher, a different issue. If you Reish Shmai, let's see a Reish name. Reish Shmai can fulfill both of them. There says Shiva Rabbeinu Nisim. And Rabbeinu Nisim writes something similar. Shiva Shamayim before roller derech b'mitzvah. So Reish Shmai should check a path, choose a path with mitzvahs. V'yetzim minei machlekes, which will take him out of any issues in the machlekes. Commercial bar ma'aseh matar. Just like in commercial things, he's going to choose a derech korov l'schar rochov. Have say a way which is close for him to gain and far from him to lose. So he would try and be mahader of the daven mincha before after the first plag, before the second plag, which is in the time slot of Rabbi Yehuda. Minayin le'ila. How do we know that there's such a concept of ila? I'm Rabbi Levi. Gam ki tarbu tefillah. It says even you're going to daven excessively, that I'm not going to listen. So Kosh Baruch Hu says even if you're going to daven a lot, this time I'm not going to listen. So the image of that, which is the pasuk in Yeshaya. So the assumption is that this time Hakadosh Baruch Hu is not going to listen to them if they marbet tefillah because Yedechem Damim Milo. But other times Hakadosh Baruch Hu will listen to a reboot tefillah, and therefore we add a tefillah when it's crucial on Yom Kippur. Okay. Rabbi Levi. There's a contradiction in Rabbi Levi. Tama and Rabbi Abba, Rabbi Papa, Rabbi Shua, the Sakha B'Shem, Rabbi Levi. They said, "B'chol etzev yeh mutar mosar." In any anguish, there is excess. V'davarsam achlam machsor, and the way he's learning B'chol Etzev Yemosar. All anguish was created by excess. Mosar the Dvar Masayim Aksar, and more words and lips cause detriment. Chana Aideshi Riba B'Tfila Chana, because she davened extensively for Shmuel to his birth. Katsa b'Yamos Shmuel. She caused him to live a shorter life. Shamar, she said, Vayesh Sham Adolam. She added to her tefillah that Shmuel should stay in the Mishkan forever, to Olam. Balo Ein Moshe Levi El Chamishim Shora. Problem is that the Olam of a Levi, the maximum forever of a Levi doing avodah is 50 years. See, Ben Chamishim Shora Yashum Mitzvah Avodah. After 50 years, he goes back from his, retires from his work. So Shmuel, he was brought at the age of 2, and he stayed there for 50 years, and he passed away at the age of 52. So by Chana adding to Yasham Olam, she ultimately brought about Shmuel's early demise. So this seems to contradict Rabbi Levi before. Rabbi Levi before said it's good to be Marbet Tefillah, and here Rabbi Levi is saying it's bad to be Marbet Tefillah. Rabbi Yossi, actually, I was still in the middle of the question. Rabbi Yossi, Rabbi Boon, Stein Shkolosu. What? It's, well, actually, I guess the way to read it like this. I don't know. You can read like this. I was 52. Why is it he died at 50? Rabbi Yossi, Rabbi Stein Shkolosu. Because in 2 years, she weaned him and then took him to the Mishkan. I don't think you have to read this question and answer, but you can. So anyway, the Kol Marchein. Levi before said Yishmar Tefillah. He says not to be Mar B'Tefillah. If he said it, came the Yachid, came the Tzibur. This is what he said for Yachid, not to be Mar B'Tefillah. It said for Tzibur to be Mar B'Tefillah. In other words, for Tzibur on Yom Kippur, davening Eilah is a good thing. For a Yachid davening for Kodesh Baruch Hu for their own personal needs, they should be Makatzer B'Tefillah. And then it's good to the Tzibur helps to make it effective, even if it's a lengthy tefillah. Rabbi Chia b'Shem, Rabbi Yochanan b'Shem ben Chalafta, Shem Meir, Vayok here b'Sa Rehis Balel, Livnei Hashem. He seems to go back to even by a individual. So she davened a lot before Kodesh Baruch Hu Chana, Kanshkol Marbet Tefillah, and so he's learning like that even by Yachid and even individual, they should be Marbet Tefillah, and they'll be answered to a greater extent. And obviously argues on what Levi said about kind of being a deficit, and that's what the Ponim says here. Klamar Afil Yachid, Rishis that Velosi Lake Rabbi Levi Mechak Ben Yachid the Tzibur. He argues Rabbi Levi. Says the Gemara further. Actually brings down here, it's worth saying, the Pnei Marapanim brings down V'asyach Kahad Amar Bicham Bar Chanina Bebavli Perek Ein Omdin Davlan Beis Beis Imra Adam Sheispav Lo Nene Yachsu Yispalo. The person sees his daven does not respond. Can response is down again. Shem Rechavel Hashem Chazak Yametzi Balo Rechavel Hashem. Do it over again. Okay, weiter. Amos Sayun Ila, when supposed to have an Ila? He's spoken Rav Rabbi Yochanan. There's Machlis Rabbi Yochanan. Rav Amar ben Ila Sharei Shemaim. We had this already before, I believe. Earlier. We have it earlier. I think we did. Maybe I'm remembering somewhere else. No, I don't think we had it. It's Yerushalmi Berachos. I'm not sure why I was saying we had it previously. In any event, so now the Amar B'Lei got there, but sorry, it went too far back. Sorry. Emasai Ila. When is the time for Ila? So I mean, the Spang Rabbi Yochanan, so it's Machlokes Rav Rabbi Yochanan. Rav Amar ben Ila Sharei Shamayim. Oh, I remember. I had Yoch Shulchan. I was learning Hilchos Yom Kippur and Yoch Shulchan recently. That's where I had it. He quotes this Yerushalmi. Okay, so Rav Rabbi Yochanan, Rav Amar ben Ila Sharei Shamayim, when the gates of heaven are closed, Yochanan ben Ila Sharei Heichal. The gates of heaven are closed. It's later, because the Sharei Heichal are closed after the Korban Tamid. which is earlier. So as the Moshe says, Miyah Shari Shemai Shu B'Layla B'Tchilasa, Miyah Shari Echol Shu B'Yom Samach Chashecha. Shulchan has a whole discussion of this in Hilchos Yom Kippur, how exactly this works out, but without getting that right now. So that is Miyah Shari Shemaim Shu B'Layla B'Tchilasa. That's later than Miyah Shari Echol Shu B'Yom Samach Chashecha, which is earlier. Okay, so Rabbi Yudan and Dutaria Masisa Messiah Rabbi Yochanan. Raya for the mission of Rabbi Yochanan. Three times a year, duchen arba pamiyom, 4 times a day. B'shachris u'musaf u'mincha v'nila shari. By shachris, by musaf u'mincha, and by neila. When they do this, b'taniyos on fast days, ma'amodos. Ma'amodos is the special tefillos which are said by a group each week when their corresponding group of kohanim is doing the avodah beis hamikdash. Yom Kippur, Yom Kippur. So nowadays you only have Yom Kippur, of course, of those, because you don't have those tiny tzipor which you had for rain back then to that full extent. Islach Meimar Nila Shari Shemaim Bayoim. Can you say that that the Nila Shari Shemaim was during the day? I forgot what that is. 1 second. So the Pnei Moshe explains, Masnisa, the Reish Perek Dalatan time Shlosh program complete Bayoim. The Duchen, half the Duchen during the day. V'chi Yisach Meim Nil Shari Shamayim Bayoimein, and Nil Shari Shamayim is not during the day; it's at the beginning of night. So Ela Nil Shari Hechol, Rabbi Yochanan said, must be that Nila is during the time of Nil Shari Hechol, like Rabbi Yochanan said, not like Rav. Achoiti made Rav Ada v'tzara Gul say to Rab b'tzaymer Rabbo. So we had this before, and but there was said about Mincha, he was holding on to Rav's Kittel on Yom Kippur. When you see the sun at the head of the palm trees, Tavale Gusi gave my Kittel did not say Nil Shem they should daven the Ilah. The Chalfishita say the Rav. Rav seems to contradict himself. Tamru Mar bin Ila Shari Shamayim. There he said Ila Shari Shamayim, which is at night, right? Previously, and here he said, and his mouth is Rabbi Yochanan, and here it says to daven when the sun is at the rooftops, which is during the day. So here he says, Mar bin Ila Shari Hechol. How is that contradiction? On Rab Masim, I said days to Rab March B'Tzlosa, since Rab used to daven at length. So Sagin very much in length. Have a Magil in Yerushalmi Shamayim. He would start when the songs at the treetops ready to go until it was already nighttime. Nila Mashid Pashit Pashal Arab. Does Nila exempt Marv? Do you get out of having Marv? It's like Yom Kippur because of the Daven Nila. Amar Rabbi Abba Rav Huna b'Shem Rav Nila Potential Arab. Yeah, you don't have Marv that night because you're ready to Daven Nila. Rav Huna Hechu Maskish Shavdolah. Wait a second. How can you possibly say that? If he's going to just say in the Eli can't match up to it's Yom Kippur. So when he's going to say, besides, you don't have Tachonei. Right? So when he has to daven the weekday Shemesi in order to say a Tachonei and say a Tachon Tanu. I'm Rabbi Abba. Rabbi Yonah said to Rabbi Abba a different question. How can a tefillah of 7 brachos Tefillah exempt the tefillah which, because of the Knes Rabbanon, is supposed to be 18 brachos? Amar lei, so he said, v'lo kvar itataft. Why ask me another question? We already rejected this. You already actually reject this that can supplant the shell error because of Avdollah. So you have to ask me another question. Amar lei, so he said, begini taft of tibatel. He's going to reject it. Should I be nullified? It says Pnei Moshe B'Tmiya Klomar Imujel Kushya Tilach Dosif Dolach MeAvdollah. If this because of your question that you asked for Avdollah Tibato Dive Rav, is that going to cancel what Rav said? Damar to Potential Avis, who said it doesn't that Marv? Dolav Kushya. That's not difficult. Shayachol Yichol Avdollah B'Chal Brachos Nila can include Avdollah in the Brachos Nila. But my question, evidently, is the question from how's 7 Motzi 18. That is a legitimate question. Rabbi Yosef, actually, Rabbi Abba Kashius, actually, Loyakshius. He said, no, that second Tchiyah is also not a good Tchiyah. Because he says, it's Kali Kil, Rabbi Shimon Yisrael. Rabbanan themselves said, you don't have that much medicine that because he's already fasting. It's a long time, he's weak, and doesn't have the stamina to daven a full Shemona Esrei. That's what he said. The Peirosh says, "Lo, he died the Rabbi. But actually, Rabbi Abba Avdolah, I'm actually Shapir." The question of Avdolah is a good question. It shouldn't change the way we normally do it. Actually, Rabbi Yoina, hey, you share a potus, you ches, lav kushiri. It's not difficult. We shouldn't call love. They had time to they made a lean for him. You brother shall share a potus. The brothers have said the brothers, they said the 7 brachos will pater the 18 brachos. Rabbi Abba Bar Memel Amar Chavraya. Rabbi Abba Bar Memel said to the Chavraya, Mari, my masters, Mikulchen Mashamis, from all of your questions, I guess these two questions, we derive that the Sheni Poter Shaler, and he doesn't exempt you from Marav. Simshim Rabbi Yushim Levi ain't Poter Shaler, it doesn't exempt Marav. Rabbi Chia, whoever it is, Tiny Rabbi Chia, yeah. The Tiny Rabbi Chia, B'chol Yom Adam Mispal Shemona Esrei, every day a person has Shemona Esrei brachas, Motzei Shabbat, Motzei Yom Kippur, Motzei Tainis Tzibur, right? He's that's now Shemona Esrei at all these times, including Motzei Shabbat, Motzei Yom Kippur, and Motzei Tainis Tzibur. No shortcuts. Yitzhak B'Shem Levi said Yom Kippur Shabbos b'Shabbos. Yom Kippur comes on Shabbos. Abi Shein Ila b'Shabbos. Even though Ila is not a Shabbos stick tefillah. Maskos Shabbos in Ila. It's main Amora. So you mentioned Shabbos during Ila as well. And they added on. Rosh Chodesh comes on Tainis Tzibur. Abi Shein Ila Rosh Chodesh Maskos Rosh Chodesh B'nei Ila. Again, it's Me'ein Amora. And I guess we can stop here for today, even though it is Hanukkah. The next line I want to mention is Hanukkah. It's not Hanukkah tonight, but we are already well into Mem Vav, so we shall stop here for today.